What if the secret to thriving in life's chaos was hidden in the words of ancient philosophers? Picture this. You're stuck in traffic, your inbox is overflowing, and your phone won't stop buzzing with notifications. Sound familiar? Life feels like a whirlwind, pulling you in every direction, leaving you stressed, scattered, and wondering how to get a grip. But here's the twist. A 2,000-year-old philosophy called Stoicism holds the key to not just surviving this madness, but mastering it with calm, confidence, and purpose. Welcome to Daily Stoic Habits, where we unpack practical wisdom to help you live better every day. In this video, we're diving into Stoic secrets that'll empower you to take charge of your life and find peace no matter what storms come your way. If you're ready to transform how you handle stress, setbacks, and even success, hit that subscribe button for our Daily Stoic Habits and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a dose of life-changing wisdom. Let's face it, life can feel like a roller coaster with no off switch. 1 minute you're juggling work deadlines. The next you're dodging drama or wrestling with self-doubt. It's easy to feel like you're not in the driver's seat. But Stoicism? It's like a roadmap for navigating that roller coaster with a steady hand. This isn't about sitting cross-legged on a mountaintop or memorizing dusty old quotes. Stoicism is a practical toolkit, forged by some of history's greatest minds to help you live with intention, resilience, and clarity. Enter the Stoic giants, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. These guys weren't just philosophers. They were real people facing real struggles. Marcus, a Roman emperor, dealt with betrayals and wars while scribbling notes to keep himself grounded. Seneca, a wealthy advisor, wrestled with ambition and exile, yet found peace through self-discipline. Epictetus, born a slave, turned his hardships into lessons on freedom through mindset. Their words aren't just ancient history, they're battle-tested advice for tackling the chaos of today. So what's the big promise of Stoicism? It's about taking back control. Not control over traffic jams, rude coworkers, or the news cycle. Those are out of your hands. Stoicism teaches you to master what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. It's about finding calm in the storm, not by escaping it, but by standing strong in its center. Ever wonder how some people stay cool under pressure, brushing off setbacks like they're nothing? That's the Stoic way, focusing on what matters, letting go of what doesn't, and building a life rooted in purpose. This video is your guide to unlocking that power. We'll break down Stoicism's core ideas and show you how to apply them, step by step, to your everyday life. From handling stress to silencing self-doubt, we've got you covered with tools you can use today. Think of it as a crash course in living better, backed by wisdom that stood the test of time. Whether you're grinding through a tough workday, navigating tricky relationships, or just craving a little more peace, Stoicism has something for you. Why should you care? Because you deserve to feel in charge of your life. You deserve to wake up each morning with a clear head, ready to face whatever comes with confidence and grace. Stoicism isn't about perfection. It's about progress, about becoming a stronger, wiser version of yourself, one day at a time. And the best part? You don't need to be a scholar or a monk to make it work. All it takes is a willingness to try, and we'll walk you through the rest. Ever feel like life's throwing you curveballs and you're just swinging blindly? One day it's a work crisis, the next it's a fight with a friend, and somehow you're supposed to keep it all together. What if there was a way to face those curveballs with a clear head and a steady heart? That's where Stoicism comes in. A philosophy that's less about pondering life's mysteries and more about giving you the tools to thrive no matter what's on your plate. Let's unpack what Stoicism really is and the core principles that make it a game changer for living with purpose and peace. Stoicism isn't some lofty academic theory. It's a practical guide for everyday life, born in ancient Greece and honed in the gritty reality of Roman times. Think of it as a mental toolbox, packed with strategies to help you navigate stress, setbacks, and even success without losing your cool. At its heart, Stoicism is about living in alignment with 4 key virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. These aren't just fancy words. They're the building blocks of a life where you're in control, not the chaos around you. First, let's talk wisdom. It's not about knowing everything, it's about knowing what matters. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled through wars and plagues, put it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Wisdom means figuring out what you can control, like your thoughts and actions, and letting go of what you can't, like other people's opinions or random bad luck. Ever get worked up over a snarky comment online? Wisdom says, that's their problem, not mine. It's about seeing the world clearly and staying focused on your own path. Next up is courage. Not the Hollywood, run into a burning building. Kind, but the quiet grit to face life's challenges head on. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, knew a thing or two about hardship. He said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Courage is showing up for the tough stuff, whether it's a hard conversation, a career risk, or admitting you were wrong. It's standing tall when life feels like a storm, knowing you've got the strength to weather it. Picture yourself walking into a high-stakes meeting, palms sweaty, but choosing to speak up anyway. That's stoic courage in action. Then there's temperance, the art of balance. In a world screaming more stuff, more likes, more hustle, temperance is your anchor. Seneca, a statesman who faced exile and betrayal, wrote, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Temperance means saying no to excess, whether it's overworking, overeating, or obsessing over what you don't have. It's savoring a simple meal with friends instead of chasing the next big thing. It's choosing calm over frenzy every single time. Finally, justice. This one's about doing right by others, not just yourself. Stoics believed you're part of a bigger web, your family, your community, the world. Justice means acting with fairness, kindness, and integrity, even when it's hard. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, do what is necessary, what the common good requires. Ever helped a coworker meet a deadline even when you were swamped? That's justice, putting the greater good above your own convenience. It's what makes Stoicism not just self-help, but a way to make the world better. So how do these virtues come together? Stoicism teaches that happiness, real, lasting happiness, comes from living by these principles, not chasing fleeting pleasures or dodging pain. It's about building a life where your actions match your values, where you're not tossed around by every whim or worry. Ever notice how some people seem unshaken, even when life gets messy? They're not lucky. They're practicing something. Like Stoicism, focusing on what's in their control and letting the rest slide. Why does this matter today? Because we're bombarded with distractions, endless notifications, comparison traps on social media, pressure to have it all. Stoicism cuts through the noise. It's a reminder to pause, breathe, and ask, what's really worth my energy? Whether you're grinding through a 60-hour work week, navigating family drama, or scrolling through a feed that makes you feel less than, Stoicism offers a way to stay grounded. It's not about shutting out the world. It's about engaging with it on your terms, with clarity and strength. The beauty of Stoicism is its simplicity. You don't need a PhD or a meditation retreat to get started. It's about small, deliberate choices, choosing patience over anger, action over worry, kindness over spite. Over time, these choices become habits, and those habits become who you are. Marcus, Seneca, and Epictetus didn't just talk the talk, they lived it, through empires, exiles, and enslavement. Their wisdom isn't locked in history books. It's ready for you to pick up and use right now. Ever feel like you're spinning your wheels, stressing over things you can't change? Maybe it's a boss who micromanages, a friend who ghosted you, or even the weather ruining your weekend plans. It's exhausting, right? What if you could let go of that stress and focus only on what's in your power? That's the magic of Stoicism's dichotomy of control. A simple, life-changing idea that cuts through the noise and puts you back in the driver's seat. Let's break it down and see how this ancient wisdom can transform your day-to-day life. At its core, the dichotomy of control is about sorting life into two buckets: what you can control and what you can't. Sounds basic, but it's a game changer. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who started life as a slave, nailed it when he said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, those are yours to command. Other people's opinions, random setbacks, or global events, those are outside your circle. Trying to control them is like trying to steer a hurricane. It's a losing battle. Picture this. You're at work and your manager shoots down your big project idea in front of the team. Your stomach drops and you're tempted to stew over it, replaying the moment, wondering why they didn't get it. That's where the dichotomy of control steps in. You can't change your manager's reaction or rewind the meeting, but you can decide how to respond. Do you sulk and let it ruin your day? Or do you take a deep breath, ask for feedback, and keep pushing forward? That choice is your power and it's always in your hands, so what's in your control? Let's get specific. You control your mindset, how you interpret what happens. You control your actions, what you say, do, or prioritize. You control your effort, how hard you work toward your goals. And you control your values, sticking to what matters to you, like honesty or kindness. Everything else? Let it go. The traffic jam that made you late? Not yours. The coworker who gossips about you? Their problem. The economy tanking? Beyond your reach. Focusing on what's yours frees up mental energy for what actually moves the needle. Here's a practical way to make this real. Grab a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, write things I can control. On the other, things I can't. Now, think about something stressing you out right now. Maybe it's a looming deadline, a family argument, or even a bad news headline. Break it down. If it's the deadline, you can't control the due date, but you can control your work plan, your focus, and how you communicate with your team. If it's an argument, you can't control the other person's words, but you can control your tone, your listening, and whether you choose to stay calm. Write it out and suddenly the fog clears. You see exactly where your power lies. Why does this matter? Because stressing over what's out of your control is like carrying a backpack full of rocks. It weighs you down, saps your energy, and gets you nowhere. Marcus Aurelius, who juggled running an empire and dodging betrayals, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By focusing on your own choices, you drop that backpack and start moving lighter, faster, smarter. You're not just reacting to life, you're shaping it. Let's try another scene. You're scrolling social media, and someone posts a snarky comment about your latest hobby. Your first instinct might be to fire back or obsess over what they think. But pause. Their opinion? Not in your control. Your response? Totally yours. You could clap back and start a pointless fight, or you could shrug, hit mute, and keep enjoying what makes you happy. That's the Stoic way, choosing peace over drama every time. This mindset isn't just about dodging stress, it's about building confidence. When you focus on what you control, you start to see how much agency you really have. You're not a victim of circumstances. You're a player in the game, making deliberate moves. Ever notice how some people seem unfazed by life's curveballs? They're not superhuman. They're just practicing this principle, pouring their energy into what they can shape and letting the rest roll off their back. Here's a quick exercise to lock this in. The next time you feel stressed, ask yourself, what's in my control here? If you're worried about a job interview, you can't control the interviewer's decision, but you can control your preparation, your confidence, and how you present yourself. Nail those, and you've done your part. The outcome? Let it be. This shift feels small at first, but it's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The dichotomy of control isn't about giving up. It's about doubling down on what matters. It's about saying, I'm not wasting my energy on things I can't change. I'm building a life that reflects who I am. Seneca put it perfectly. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Stop imagining worst-case scenarios or obsessing over what's out of reach. Focus on your next step, your next choice, your next breath. That's where your power lives. Ready to put this into action? We're about to explore how Stoicism teaches us to live fully in the present moment, embracing every challenge and joy with open eyes. It's the next piece of the puzzle for a life of resilience and purpose. Let's keep rolling. Ever catch yourself replaying yesterday's mistakes or worrying about tomorrow's problems? It's like you're stuck in a mental hamster wheel, running but getting nowhere. What if you could step off that wheel and fully embrace the moment you're in right now? That's the heart of Stoicism's call to live in the present, and it's powered by two profound ideas: amor fati, loving your fate, and memento mori, remembering you'll die. These aren't just catchy phrases, they're tools to help you find peace and purpose in every single day. Let's dive in and see how they can transform the way you live. First, let's unpack amor fati, which means love of fate. It's about embracing everything life throws at you, the good, the bad, the messy, not with gritted teeth but with open arms. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who faced endless crises, wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs." This isn't passive resignation. It's an active choice to see every moment as necessary, even the tough ones. Spilled coffee on your shirt before a big meeting, a flat tire on your way to dinner. Amor fati says these aren't just annoyances, they're part of your story, shaping you into who you're meant to be. Think about a time you faced something tough, a job loss, a breakup, or even a minor setback like missing a deadline. Your first instinct might be to fight it, to wish it never happened. But what if you leaned in instead? Picture yourself saying, "This is happening, and I'm going to make it work." Suddenly, that setback becomes a chance to grow, to learn patience, or to pivot toward something better. It's like turning a stormy day into an opportunity to cozy up with a good book. Same situation, different perspective. Amor fati invites you to find meaning in the chaos, to love the life you're living, flaws and all. Now let's talk memento mori, Latin for remember you will die. Sounds grim, but hear me out. It's one of the most liberating ideas in Stoicism. Seneca put it bluntly, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Life is short, and none of us know how much time we've got. That truth isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to wake you up. Every morning when you open your eyes, you're gifted a new day, a fresh chance to live fully. Memento mori asks, are you making the most of it, or are you wasting time on petty worries and distractions? Picture yourself stuck in a cycle of scrolling social media, comparing your life to others, or stressing over things that won't matter in a week. Now imagine a little voice whispering, "This moment is all you've got. Make it count." That's memento mori in action. It's not about obsessing over death, it's about cherishing life. Maybe it means putting down your phone to really listen to a friend's story, or savoring the warmth of your coffee instead of rushing through it. It's a reminder to show up for the people and passions that light you up, because time doesn't wait. So how do you bring these ideas into your daily grind? Start with gratitude. It's the easiest way to practice amor fati. Try this. Every evening, grab a notebook and jot down 3 things from your day you're thankful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it's a kind word from a coworker, the way the sun hit your window, or even a tough moment that taught you something. This habit rewires your brain to see life's ups and downs as gifts, not burdens. Over time, you'll find yourself embracing challenges with a quiet smile, knowing they're part of the journey. For memento mori, it's about keeping life's brevity and focus without getting morbid. Try a quick morning ritual. As you brush your teeth, look in the mirror and think, today's a gift, I'm going to live it well. Then set one small intention. Maybe it's being kinder to your partner or tackling a task you've been avoiding. This tiny act roots you in the present, reminding you to act with purpose. Ever notice how some people live with such intensity, like they're squeezing every drop out of life? That's the spirit of memento mori. Living boldly because you know time is finite. Why does this matter? Because we spend so much energy stuck in the past or anxious about the future, we miss what's right in front of us. You're at dinner with friends, but your mind's on tomorrow's to-do list. You're walking in the park, but you're replaying an argument. Stoicism says, come back to now. The present is where your power lies. It's where you laugh, love, work, and grow. By loving your fate and remembering life's shortness, you stop drifting through days and start shaping them. Let's make it real. Say you're dealing with a stressful week, bills piling up, kids acting out, work deadlines looming. Amor Fati says, this is my life right now, and I'm going to meet it head on. You budget calmly, talk to your kids with patience, and chip away at your tasks. Memento Mori adds, this day is precious, don't waste it on worry. So you carve out 10 minutes to call a friend or take a walk, grounding yourself in what matters. These choices don't erase the stress, but they make you stronger, clearer, more alive. The payoff? Peace. Not the kind that comes from a perfect life, but the kind that grows from knowing you're fully here, making the most of what you've got. Stoicism's call to live in the present isn't about ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It's about anchoring yourself in the only moment you can truly shape, now. Ever feel like life's testing you with one hit after another? A project tanks at work, a loved one lets you down, or maybe you're just battling that nagging voice in your head saying you're not enough. It's tempting to duck and cover, to wish the problems would just vanish. But what if those challenges are exactly what make you stronger? Stoicism says they are, and it's got a battle-tested playbook for turning obstacles into opportunities. Let's dive into how to build resilience the Stoic way, so you can face any storm with grit and grace. In Stoicism, challenges aren't curses, they're chances to grow. Marcus Aurelius, who juggled an empire through wars and betrayals, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That's not just poetic, it's a mindset shift. The roadblock you're facing, it's not here to stop you, it's here to shape you. Lose a job? It's a push to rethink your career. Get criticized? It's a mirror to reflect on your strengths and weaknesses. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain, it's about using it to forge a tougher, wiser version of yourself. So, how do you do this? One of Stoicism's sharpest tools is premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils. Sounds intense, but it's simple. You mentally rehearse the worst-case scenarios before they happen, not to stress yourself out, but to prepare your mind to stay cool when things go south. Picture yourself getting ready for a big presentation. Instead of just hoping it goes well, you imagine the projector failing, tough questions from the crowd, or even blanking on your lines. Then you plan your response. You'll have backups, stay calm, and pivot with confidence. When you've already walked through the fire in your mind, the real thing feels less daunting. Let's make it real. Say you're worried about a family gathering where tension always flares. Before you go, take 5 minutes to close your eyes and visualize the chaos. An argument kicks off, someone brings up old grudges. Now decide how you'll handle it. You'll breathe deeply, keep your tone steady, maybe even crack a joke to diffuse things. When the moment hits, you're not blindsided, you're ready. This isn't pessimism, it's like training for a marathon. You don't hope the race is easy, you prepare for the hills. Why does this work? Because resilience comes from knowing you can handle whatever comes. Epictetus, who endured slavery and exile, said, "Every difficulty in life presents us with an opportunity to turn inward and invoke our own inner resources." Challenges test your inner strength, but they also build it. Think about a time you overcame something tough, maybe a health scare or a brutal work deadline. Didn't it leave you feeling a little tougher, a little prouder? That's resilience growing, one hard-won victory at a time. Here's a practical step to start building it. The Stoic Obstacle Journal. Each evening, jot down one challenge you faced that day, big or small. Maybe your car broke down or you got a snarky email from a client. Next, write how you responded and what you learned. Did you stay calm, snap back, freeze up? Then note one way you could handle it better next time. Over weeks, you'll see patterns, where you're strong, where you need work. It's like a workout log for your mind, tracking your progress as you get tougher. Let's paint a picture. You're a freelancer, and a client pulls out of a major deal last minute. Your first thought is panic. Bills are due and you feel like a failure. But then you pause. You can't control the client's choice, but you can control your next move. You journal about it. Today's challenge: lost a gig. I felt gutted but reached out to 2 new leads instead of sulking. Learned: action beats despair. Next time you're quicker to pivot, less rattled. That's Stoicism at work, turning setbacks into setups for growth. This mindset shifts how you see problems. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you start asking, "What's this teaching me?" A fight with a friend? It's a chance to practice patience, a missed promotion, a nudge to sharpen your skills or explore new paths. Seneca nailed it. No one is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not allowed to prove himself. Challenges aren't just part of life, they're the forge where your character is shaped. But resilience isn't just about you, it's about showing up for others too. When you're steady in a crisis, you become a rock for your family, friends, or team. Ever notice how one calm person can change the vibe in a tense room? That's you, practicing stoic resilience, radiating strength without saying a word. It's not about being bulletproof, it's about bending without breaking like a tree in a storm. Here's another trick. Reframe your challenges as invitations. Next time something goes wrong, say to yourself, "This is my chance to show what I'm made of." Spilled milk? Laugh it off and clean it up. Harsh feedback? Thank the giver and use it to improve. This doesn't mean you ignore pain. It means you don't let it define you. You choose growth over gloom, action over excuses. Over time, what once felt like a crisis starts to feel like just another day at the office. The payoff? Freedom. When you know you can handle life's punches, you stop living in fear of them. You walk taller, stress less, and sleep better. You're not just surviving, you're thriving because you've trained your mind to see every challenge as a stepping stone. Marcus Aurelius said it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength is resilience, and it's yours to build. Ever been stung by a harsh comment that just wouldn't leave your head? Or maybe you're stuck in a situation, a workplace, a friendship, or even online, where negativity drains you dry. Conflict and toxic environments can make you feel powerless, like you're walking on eggshells. But Stoicism offers a way to rise above, to handle insults with wisdom, and escape toxic spaces with strength. Let's dive into how to stay calm, set boundaries, and reclaim your peace no matter who or what tries to shake you. First, let's tackle conflict, starting with insults. Someone snaps at you. Maybe a coworker criticizes your work in a meeting, or a stranger leaves a nasty comment on your post. Your gut reaction might be to fire back or stew in anger. But Stoicism flips the script. Epictetus, who faced plenty of scorn as a former slave, said, "It is not he who reviles or strikes you who insults you, but your opinion that these things are insulting." Translation? An insult only hurts if you let it. Their words are just noise. Your response is, what matters? Picture this. You're at a family dinner and your uncle makes a snide remark about your career choices. Instead of biting back, you pause. You ask yourself, does this change who I am? The answer's no. So you smile, shrug, and say, thanks for the input, then move on. That's stoic power, choosing peace over drama. Or try a dash of humor, like Seneca suggested. The best way to bear insults is to make fun of them. If someone mocks your new hobby online, reply with a witty, "Guess I'll keep practicing then." It disarms them, keeps you light, and shifts the vibe. But what if the conflict isn't just a one-off? Toxic environments, think soul-sucking jobs, draining relationships, or relentless social media trolls, require a different approach. Stoicism teaches you to spot the signs: constant anxiety, feeling belittled, or dreading interactions. If you're waking up with a knot in your stomach because of a workplace where gossip and backstabbing are the norm, that's a red flag. Recognizing toxicity is the first step to breaking free. Here's where Stoic wisdom gets practical. Set boundaries. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This applies to protecting your space. In a toxic job, you can't control your boss's temper, but you can control your response. Politely but firmly say, "I'd prefer to keep this professional," when conversations turn negative. Or, limit exposure, skip the office rumor mill, and focus on your work. In personal relationships, boundaries might mean distancing yourself from someone who constantly criticizes you. It's not selfish, it's self-preservation rooted in Stoic justice to yourself. Sometimes boundaries aren't enough. You need to walk away. Leaving a toxic environment takes courage, but Stoicism sees it as a triumph of self-respect. Seneca said, "No one is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not allowed to prove himself." Quitting a job that erodes your mental health or ending a friendship that leaves you drained isn't defeat. It's claiming your power. Picture yourself in a workplace where every day feels like a battle. You're exhausted, snapping at loved ones, losing sleep. Now imagine taking action, updating your resume, networking, or even just confiding in a friend. Each step is a Stoic victory, proving you're stronger than the toxicity. How do you know when to leave? Listen to your body and mind. If you're always tense, resentful, or doubting your worth, it's time to act. Start small. Seek support from a mentor, therapist, or trusted friend. Research new opportunities or environments that align with your values. If it's social media dragging you down, mute, block, or take a break. Epictetus reminded us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom means choosing spaces that let you thrive, not just survive. What about when conflict escalates like harassment or abuse? Stoicism doesn't mean staying silent. Seneca wrote, "It is the duty of a brave man to put up with what is bad, but not with what is shameful." If someone's crossing into harm, verbal attacks, gaslighting, or worse, stand up. Report it, seek help, or remove yourself. Stoics don't hate the harasser. They pity them as lost souls acting from weakness. But they also don't tolerate harm. Your dignity is non-negotiable. The Stoic mindset here is about staying steady, not stooping to the level of the conflict. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who committed the injustice." When someone lashes out, don't mirror their anger, mirror your values. Stay kind, calm, and clear. This doesn't just protect your peace, it can shift the dynamic, making others rethink their behavior. Ever seen someone's rage fizzle out when met with quiet strength? That's you wielding Stoic resilience. Here's a quick tool to lock this in: the pause and reflect method. Next time you're hit with an insult or toxic vibe, take 3 slow breaths before reacting. Ask, "Is this worth my energy? Does it align with my values?" If not, let it go or respond with poise. If it's a bigger issue, like a toxic workplace, journal about it. What's draining you? What steps can you take? This clarity fuels action, whether it's setting a boundary or planning your exit. What makes a life worth living? Is it the chase for more money, more likes, more stuff? Or is it something deeper, something that sticks with you when the noise fades? Stoicism says the answer lies in virtue, living by values like wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. These aren't just ideals to admire. They're the foundation of a life that feels solid, meaningful, and true to who you are. Let's explore how to cultivate virtue every day, turning your choices into a reflection of your best self. In Stoicism, virtue is the key to happiness. Not the fleeting kind from a new car or a viral post, but the deep, unshakable kind that comes from knowing you're living right. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire while battling self-doubt, wrote, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." That harmony starts with aligning your actions with your core values. It's about showing up as the person you want to be, whether you're at work, with family, or alone with your thoughts. So what are these virtues? Wisdom is about seeing clearly, knowing what's worth your time and what's just noise. Courage is the grit to act on what's right, even when it's hard. Temperance keeps you balanced, saying no to excess and yes to moderation. Justice is doing good for others, treating people with fairness and kindness. Together, they're like a compass, guiding you through life's messiness. Ever met someone who just radiates integrity, no matter the situation? That's virtue in action, and it's within your reach. How do you make this real? Start with self-reflection, a Stoic habit that's like a daily check-in with your soul. Each evening, carve out 5 minutes to ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where could I have done better? Did my actions match my values? Picture yourself at work, where you snapped at a colleague under stress. Reflecting later, you realize it wasn't your best moment. You value kindness, so you decide to apologize tomorrow and stay calmer next time. This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about course correcting, growing a little each day. Seneca, who faced exile and political intrigue, said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Reflection helps you cut through that mental fog, focusing on what's true. Try keeping a journal for this. Write down one moment where you lived your values. Maybe you helped a friend through a tough spot, and one where you fell short, like scrolling mindlessly instead of tackling a goal. Then plan one small step to improve, like setting a phone timer to stay focused. Over time, these entries become a map of your progress, showing how you're shaping a life of virtue. Let's ground this in a real scenario. You're at a family barbecue and the conversation turns heated. Politics, old grudges, the works. Your instinct is to jump in or storm off, but you pause, thinking about justice and temperance. Instead of arguing, you listen, ask questions, and keep the vibe civil. Later, reflecting, you note how staying calm felt right, aligning with your value of fairness. Next time, you'll lean into that strength even more. That's Stoicism, small choices building a stronger you. Virtue isn't just personal. It's about how you show up for others. Justice, in particular, calls you to contribute to the world around you. Think about your daily interactions. At work, do you support your team even when it's inconvenient? At home, do you listen to your partner or kids with full attention? In your community, do you lend a hand, whether it's volunteering or just checking on a neighbor? These acts of justice ripple outward, making life better for everyone. Ever notice how one kind gesture, like holding the door for a stranger, can shift someone's day? That's you, living virtuously. Courage comes into play when sticking to your values gets tough. Maybe you value honesty, but your boss pressures you to fudge a report. Courage says, "No, I'll find a way to be truthful." Or perhaps you value health, but social events keep derailing your diet. Temperance steps in, helping you choose a salad over a third slice of cake. These moments aren't easy, but they're where virtue shines. As Epictetus put it, no man is free who is not master of himself. Freedom is choosing your values over temptation or fear. Why does this matter? Because a life built on virtue feels different. It's not about chasing applause or dodging pain. It's about knowing you're doing right, no matter what. Picture yourself lying in bed at night, replaying your day. If you lived by your values, helping a struggling coworker, staying patient with a grumpy cashier, or pushing through a tough workout, you feel a quiet pride. That's the Stoic promise. Peace that comes from within, not from what the world throws at you. Here's a tool to lock this in. The values checklist. Pick your top 3 values, say kindness, discipline, and fairness. Each morning, write them down and set one specific way to live them that day. Maybe it's calling a friend to check in, kindness, sticking to your work schedule, discipline, or giving honest feedback tactfully, fairness. At night, reflect, did you hit the mark? Where can you tweak? This keeps your values front and center, turning them from ideas into habits. Let's be real. Living virtuously isn't always smooth. You'll slip, lose your temper, procrastinate, or prioritize convenience over what's right. Stoicism doesn't demand perfection. It demands effort. Each misstep is a chance to learn, to recommit. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, look deeply into yourself. There is a source of strength that will always spring up if you will always look there. That strength is your ability to choose virtue day after day. You've just walked through the heart of Stoicism, a philosophy that's not about escaping life's chaos, but thriving in it. From mastering what you can control to embracing the present, building resilience, handling conflict, and living by your values. These tools are your roadmap to a life of peace, purpose, and strength. But here's the thing. Stoicism isn't a one-and-done lesson. It's a journey, a daily practice of choosing clarity over clutter, courage over fear, and virtue over distraction. So, how do you start? Pick one Stoic habit. Try the evening reflection. Take 5 minutes tonight to ask, what did I do well? What can I improve? Write it down. Maybe you stayed calm in a tense moment or showed kindness when it was tough. Celebrate that. If you slipped, snapped at someone, or procrastinated, note it. Plan to do better. This small act, done daily, rewires your mind to focus on growth. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength builds one choice at a time. Why keep going? Because you deserve a life where stress doesn't own you, where challenges make you stronger, where you feel grounded no matter what. Picture yourself a month from now, waking up with a clearer head, handling conflicts with poise, living true to your values. That's the Stoic path. Not perfection, but progress. Every step you take, every moment you choose wisdom or patience, you're crafting a life that feels authentic and full. Due to time constraints, we will stop here. I hope this video is useful to you. If it can help you even a little, I will feel very satisfied. Save the video to your playlist if you want to listen to it again at any time. Please like and share it with many people, because sometimes a timely message can change a life. And don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Stoic Habits channel. Click the notification bell so you don't miss the next valuable videos. Goodbye, and see you again.